And welcome to Poway High School for the CIF San Diego section Open Division Championship. Number 8, Eastlake and the Titans sporting a 24-9 record going up against number 3, Grossmont and the Foothillers at 29-5. I am Jonah Malkin, delighted to be with you. This is one of the most highly anticipated matchups this postseason, with a boys Open Division CIF Championship on the line. Grossmont 29-5, the designated home team, and the 3 seed Eastlake, the designated road team, and the number 8 seed. And these two teams have faced off 3 previous times this year. Grossmont taking all 3, and they were always the designated home team in those instances. Grossmont and the Foothillers wearing their dark navy blue jerseys outlined by white numbers and those pinstripe pants. And the designated home road team, the Eastlake Titans, sporting their gray jerseys with hues of blue. Navy blue, royal blue, technically, is what they go by. We're going to step aside for the singing of the national anthem. Starting lineups coming up in just a moment. Welcome to Poway High School as we get set for first pitch between 8-seeded Eastlake and 3-seeded Grossmont. Grossmont, the designated home team, so Eastlake and the Titans will be up first to bat. The starting lineups, the top of the order, Daniel Mora, Ethan Lazima, and Marcelo Mayer in the 3 spot, the heralded shortstop, projected number 1 overall pick in this year's MLB draft. In the middle of the order, batting cleanup, Nico Valarelli at first base. At number 5, Nico Libed, and rounding out the bottom of the middle order is Isaiah Lane. At the bottom of the order is Nick Rocha in the 7th spot, and in the 8th spot, Brett Leonhardt. And rounding out the bottom of the order is Sebastian Sanchez, the starting pitcher for tonight's matchup. For the Eastlake Titans will be Ray Chabulski. And for the home team, the Grossmont Foothillers, sporting a 29-5 record, the number 1 overall team in the San Diego section, according to CIF, number 13 in California. The guy on the mound tasked with the difficult job is Evan Vasilu. He's the starting pitcher. Isaiah Gomez is behind the dish. Playing first base is Justin Brown. Cody Bigley playing second. Luke Williams is the DH, so Reggie Williams will play the shortstop position. And rounding out the infield is Caleb Hummel over at third base. Out in outfield, in left field, is the left fielder Noah Barnes. Out in center is Max Callender. And out in right field is Baron Zamora. And away we go. Daniel Mora will step in for Eastlake, the sophomore, just 5'7", batting .354 on the season. He will face off against Evan Vasilu. We'll see which one of these players can get the best of one another to start. Eastlake 24-9. The 8 seed taking on the Foothillers of Grossmont 29-5. First pitch low and outside for ball one. And it will be interesting to see whether the pitchers or the batters can get off to those good starts. That was an issue in the first game as the second pitch taken at the belt. First strike one. 1-1 the count as we begin the CIF San Diego section Open Division Boys Championships at Poway High School. Fastball sails up and away. And it's 2-1. Evan Vasilu making his 13th start of the season. Gorgeous fastball. Paints the bottom of the zone, and it evens up the count at 2-2. A senior 6-footer was just selected to be an all-star on the East team, committed to UC Irvine. Southpaw's 2-2 is slapped back against the fence by Mora, and we'll do it again. A 1.49 ERA. Vasilu with an 11-0 record this postseason and in the season in general. Fastball misses outside, and it brings the count full. Payoff pitch coming to Daniel Mora. Vasilu delivers, and this is fouled down the first baseline, and we'll do it again. Daniel Mora playing in his 31st game this year. 15th pitch. Misses upstairs. And Mora's on with a leadoff walk. The pitching has just been fantastic for Coach Jordan Abruzzo's club. Their control over pitches, they've limited opponents to just .232 batting average on the season. And now the southpaw Ethan Lazima steps in and rips the ball foul. 0-1. Daniel Mora over at first base led things off with a leadoff walk. Vasilu making his 14th appearance. Has pitched 3 complete games already this year. Takes the sign from Gomez behind the dish. Deals, and it's a check swing. Up to Vasilu, makes the throw over the head of Williams at second, and Mora is safely aboard. So an E1 advances Mora to second. Lazima is on the air as well, and already an error to start the top of the inning for Grossmont and the Foothillers. If you're Eastlake and the Titans, have to take advantage. They've got 2 men aboard. Lazima at first, Mora at second. Now the heralded Marcelo Mayer steps in as Vasilu steps off to check Mora over at second base. Marcelo Mayer rips the ball into right field. It's a base hit. Rounding third and coming home is Mora. The throw will not come in time. Tagging second and coming to third is Lazima. And Marcelo Mayer, right on cue, delivers an RBI single. The first hit of the game comes to Marcelo Mayer, and right on cue delivers an RBI. And nobody away in the top of the first. 1 run with the runners at the corners. Marcelo Mayer at first, Lazima at third. Daniel Mora came in to score, and now stepping in is Nico Valarelli. And he'll take a pitch in the ground for ball one. High-paced start to this championship game. And he'll step off the mag, throws to first. The throw to second on Marcelo Mayer. Got him in time. Brown hit Williams on the throw over. And Mayer is thrown out at second base. So they'll mark it as a 3-6 putout to Mayer, but he did deliver an RBI single, so the damage was done. That's just the first out of the top of the first. Valarelli steps in, fouls an off-speeder out of play into foul territory down the right side, and it's 1-1. Vasilu deals a beautiful strike that whizzes on the outside for 1-2. And this is a strikeout that's bobbled by the catcher. Gomez makes the throw to first, and the throw home, was that in time? It was a 2-3 strikeout. And coming home to score is Ethan Lozama. So a sacrifice bunt from Valarelli brings Lozama home, or not a sacrifice bunt, but rather just the bobbled catch by Gomez gave some time for Lozama to run home, and it's 2-0. Now, both of these runs will not be earned as there was an error. And now Nico Liebed steps in. 1-1, takes a strike, now 1-2. And that's a strike 3. Vasilu strikes out Liebed and registers his first K of the afternoon, but Marcelo Mayer delivers an RBI single. Lozama comes home to score, and after the top of the first, it's 2-0. Titans up over 3-seed Grossmont Foothillers. You're listening to the CIF San Diego Section Baseball Open Division Championship right here, presented by Mission Fed Credit Union. Bottom of the first, coming up in a moment. Welcome back to Poway High School. I'm Jonah Malkin, delighted to be with you on a Saturday afternoon. Weather's beginning to cool down here in San Diego. Sun is beginning to set. Wanted to provide this opportunity to share the starting lineups for now the Grossmont Foothillers.
You having fun in college?
And leading off the top of the order is Evan Vasilu, who, of course, is the pitcher. Noah Barnes right behind him in left field. And rounding out the bottom of the top of the order is Isaiah Gomez. Batting cleanup, Caleb Hommel. In the 5 spot, Justin Brown. And rounding out the bottom of the middle order, Baron Zamora. And rounding out the bottom of the order, Max Callender in 7. In the 8 spot, Luke Williams. And in the 9 spot, Reggie Williams. And in the infield, behind the dish, is Brett Leonhardt. Ray Chabulski on the mound. Over at third base is Isaiah Lane. Marcelo Mayer over at short. Daniel Moore at second. And Nico Valarelli over at first base. And in the outfield, you have Lozama in left, Sanchez in center field, and Liebed at right. And I'll bring along my broadcasting partner, Christian Pedersen. Christian, happy to have you join me. This is,
bro, I'm stoked. This is what I want. This is the
matchup everyone wanted to see.
And then runs also already in the first. Want to give a quick
You're a big
shout
offensive
out.
guy.
Want to give a quick shout out. Brett Leonhardt, the guy behind the dish for Eastlake, as we get our first pitch of the game, or the bottom half of the first inning here. His brother Brian, a 2-time CIF champion and current first baseman for San Diego State, is in attendance. Always good to see alumni of the recent years returning back.
Ray Chabulski's first pitch to Vasilu was a ball, and this is a grounder to second. Mora can't control it, now able to corral it and make the play to first in time for out number 1.
I don't know how much these microphones pick up the sound of that bat, but even the standard ground ball from these teams is hit a little bit different than in the other games that we've seen so far this championship weekend.
These are the two best teams right now in San Diego, and I talked about
Although
in the pregame.
you wouldn't know it from the seeding. A 3
and
and
I was
an 8.
about to say you wouldn't know it from the seeding, and the seeding I don't think is quite indicative of where these teams are.
Oh no, the seeding is a great chance for us to rip CIF publicly on all of their their shortcomings.
Noah Barnes takes a strike on the inside. A beautiful fastball delivered by Chabolski for strike number 1.
Are you sure there's an H in? I think it's Sabolski. Did you get a ch from the coach?
I had checked in with the coach before.
My apologies, Ray. I've been calling you the wrong name for years.
Second pitch is fouled back for 0-2. And Chabolski making his 13th appearance, 2.44 ERA, a 6-2 record this year, over 60 innings pitched, was just selected as an all-star to play at Petco Park in a couple weeks.
He's also unbuttoned the top 3 buttons, it looks like, on his jersey. Definitely trying to get a nice draft in there today. Stay cool in all this heat.
Breaking ball is fouled away. It'll be interesting to see if these pitchers try to go at the batters today or try and pitch around them, because obviously different strategies can be employed.
I can tell you what's going to happen here. This is going to be goafterhim.com. Like you Google pitchers going after hitters, this game is going to end up popping up as the first result. I don't think, especially Eastlake with a 2-0 lead already early in the game, I don't think Eastlake has any interest in trying to make things fancy or complicated when you could just go after hitters. And right now they got to force Grossmont to start swinging the bats real aggressively early on.
Last pitch was fouled off. Chabolski deals, and this one's fouled back again by Noah Barnes. Grossmont, led by head coach Jordan Abruzzo, has done a great job guiding this team to a 29-5 record, a 12-3 record in the Grossmont Hills League, finishing first, trying to cap it off with a championship. 0-2 fastball, check swing. Did they say he went around it? They say he did not. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And you bring up the coaching success of Jordan Abruzzo in the last couple of years. Dave Gallego on the other side won his 300th or 500th game. I forget which one it was. I know that's a massive gap. I want to say it was 300 for him this year. Both of these coaches.
1-2.
Got him. That's a chair.
Got him looking on the outside. First strikeout for Chabolski. Down goes Barnes.
But both of these,
and 2 outs.
But both of these programs have been winning championships easily and regularly the last 5 years. Seen at one point back-to-back finals appearances for Grossmont, including 2 D1 championships. Eastlake's been in 3 of the last 5 open division championships, including a couple of winners. Obviously no champions last year, but that makes both of these teams equally more impressive. They can sustain years and years and years worth of success.
Breaking balls taken by Gomez for a strike. Gorgeous pitch. 2 gone in the bottom of the second. This is a pop-up into the infield lane, trying to track it down. Now Leonhardt also takes off his glove, and coming in to make the catch is the pitcher, Evan Vasulu.
And I feel like I need to make an important distinction and correction to my earlier broadcast. Ray has 4 buttons undone as he came close enough for us on there. Ray, man, what's going on there? I'd love to hear the philosophy behind just how open that jersey is as we close out the first inning. Jonah's going to finish off his scorebook. I'll recap for everybody. 2-0 Eastlake after 1. Eastlake getting a pair early on thanks to a Marcelo Mayer single and a couple of balls mishandled on a drop third strike. Eastlake getting 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of that first frame. Jonah coming out of the gate. You've now seen 1 championship game already today that ended in a walk-off for Granite Hills. Do you get any different vibes yet? I know 1 inning's early, but do you get any different vibes that we're going to be able to see anything specific in this game so far? Do you see one team jumping out early? I mean, is Eastlake?
It's fascinating, Christian, because both of these teams have started out the same way. Because Point Loma jumped out to a 2-0 lead after the top of the first, after the first inning, and then ultimately Granite Hills came back to win. So there isn't so much you can glean other than the velocity of some of these pitches. And the players themselves are really stepping it up.
It's a tad bit higher. The number of Major League Scouts has gone up.
Yep.
The number of people in attendance has gone up. I'll see if we can get an actual full attendance number here today, but this is packed. I know for a fact they have turned people away and are having overflow crowds sitting out in right field right now. Really, honestly, a cool setup here at Poway that you can have a couple hundred people out in the right field, what would be bleachers, but it's just kind of a hill. We've got it looks like a storage can being sat on. That's a very, if we're not going to be able to play a championship game at USD, this is an authentic and cool feel.
Top of the second, we go. First pitch is a liner to second. Mora is there and makes the play to first for out number one. Daniel Mora has just been all over the field so far in this game. He's done just a fantastic job over at second base. And that's out number one on the 4-3 putout to Caleb Hommel. Or rather to Isaiah Lane. Now Nick Rocha will step in.
So we have the official count is 770 in the stadium. So I'm going to guess with the overflow seating, well over 800 people here in attendance tonight at this game.
Fantastic showing for a championship game. Nick Rocha now down in the count 0-2. Fouled the second pitch away. Low fastball, just got a piece of it to stay alive. And we'll do it again.
Grossmont today, I don't know if you, Jonah, have talked about exactly what they are wearing. They are donning their Foothiller blue with the white pants, pinstripes on the bottom. Eastlake has the gray uniforms with blue sleeves and blue and white piping down the side. It's, for two teams rocking blue, they're rocking pretty different looks of it. So I can appreciate that this isn't overlapping, boring color scheme games.
Well, it's about trying to beat each other while looking similar.
Yes. Don't
want there to be any disparity. 0-2 misses way outside, and it's 1-2. Nick Rocha, a senior, batting .214 on the season, 19 RBIs. Inside pitch, got him swinging. Down goes Rocha for the second out of the top of the second. Vasilu rings up his third batter so far in this ball game. He's been fantastic. And now Brett Leonhardt, the catcher, will step in for his first appearance. Senior, very upperclassman laden team is Eastlake and the Titans. And the southpaw takes a strike over the middle. Doesn't even take a swing.
You bring up batting averages, and I'll say this, it can be hard sometimes at the high school level to accurately gauge what that means because some of these teams play such disproportionately strong schedules compared to other teams, Eastlake especially, not getting very many gimmies. So that 240 batting average on some of these guys might really be a 310, a 350 if they were playing at a different division.
It's a great point. Vasilu deals the 2-1. Fastball misses up and inside, and it's 3-1.
You bring up senior heavy for Eastlake. Somehow, though, this still doesn't feel like if they their window is closing. Their window always feels open to keep winning championships.
And a liner to Barnes. Can't catch it. It came off his glove.
There is no humanly way that he saw that ball for the last 5 seconds that it was going in. That thing is hit directly from his view straight into the sun. Sun is sitting down the first baseline. It's pretty much right behind the first base bleachers and dugout area. So that left field, shortstop, and third baseman all will have a lot of problems for the next half hour to 45 minutes trying to, get a real handle and feel for that.
And they will mark that as an error.
So keep Pepper in left field, boys.
It's the third error of the game so far.
Well,
as Vasilu rockets one up over the zone for ball 3.
And, that's uncharacteristic of any championship team, let alone an open division championship team.
Actually, they should have adjusted the scoreboard. It's actually ball 1 to Sebastian Sanchez stepping in. Want to know the count. Fastball misses upstairs for 2-0. Sebastian Sanchez, another senior, 366 batting average. I think you can glean that he's a pretty good batter from that, but takes a hack and comes up empty on the fastball down the middle. 2-1. Evan Vasilou, 1.49 ERA. And again, off the plate with the heater. 3-1.
Visibly taking a moment now behind the mound to readjust the belt. Just looks like he's trying to calm himself down. He's a little thrown out of his frame the last maybe 8 to 10 pitches. Has not looked like he's comfortable with that release point perfectly yet.
3-1 pitch, misses up and inside. So Sanchez able to draw a walk, the second walk of the game. Leonhardt moves over to second.
We're going to have a mound visit here from Grossmont as their pitching coach comes out, calls time, crosses across the baseline. Looks like we don't have anybody yet headed down to warm up, but Coach Abruzzo there at the top step. I mean, visibly frustrated. He needs his guys to obviously deliver early in the game, but got a nice little reason to mute my mic here in the background as everything gets crowded.
Meeting adjourned. And Gomez will go back behind the dish. Silu takes another breath.
You really need your pitcher if you're Grossmont to get a strike here.
Back to the top of the order, too. Daniel Mora, who led things off with a walk. This one is raked into left field, and it will be dropped again by Barnes. Rounding third and coming home to score is Leonhardt, and following right behind him is Sanchez. The throw will not come in time. He dives to the plate, and it's 4-0 Eastlake.
Huge slide in, and you got to be curious. I know that we just were saying it, pepper to left field to play with that sun, but you know, out there in left field, he chose to try, and it looked like dive for it, just completely misplayed it in a way that you got to wonder, you know, could he have pulled up on that one and maybe kept things in front of him? Instead, he goes all out trying to make play, and it winds up as 2 more runs for Eastlake.
And the second time in this inning alone that they've targeted Barnes over at left field, and it's paid dividends. And Daniel Mora is all the way over at second base, 2 outs, taking a nice lead off the bag. Vasilou peers and fires, low and in the dirt for ball 1.
Oh, this is the old adage, walks come back to hurt you.
Absolutely.
I mean, incarnate of just this situation being a little bit outside of his control and his ability to get that last out. And ultimately, that's what we saw in the Division I game between Granite and Point Loma, was a run came down to a guy gets walked, gets on, gets over, gets in.
Count is at 1-1. Ethan Lazimu stepped in, fouled one back.
Oh, that's a nice breaking ball. Not going to give him the call
yeah,
there.
It was close on the inside, nearly painted the inside corner. Lazimu had to head back, and it's 2-1. Moreover at second. Vasilou fires, cut on and missed for strike 2.
Well, you see a big hack there. You wonder how the swings might change for Eastlake with a little bit of room to work now on the offensive end. A little bit of a cushion here. Do they get a little less selective? Do they attack a little bit bigger, take some bigger hacks?
2-2, a high bouncer to second. Moore is able to corral it. Rifles one to first in time for out number 3. So able to prevent more damage, but enough damage was done. The Titans tack on another 2 runs, and they lead 4-0 as we head into the bottom of the second. 4, 5, and 6 batters due up for the Foothillers on the other side of the break. You're listening to the Prep Insider CIF San Diego section. Boys Baseball Open Division Championships brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. Titans tack on 2 more runs as we welcome you back to Poway High School. Eastlake up over Grossmont 4-0 as we begin the bottom of the second. Christian Pedersen, Jonah Malkin, delighted to be with you here from Poway High School. Sun beginning to set. We've seen a couple airs over in left field. The sun really beaming brightly in that part of the field. Sunglasses being worn right now by Ethan Lazima over in left field as 2 errors occurred there. And now the cleanup spot, Caleb Hommel makes his first appearance.
The sun has shifted ever so slightly to now maybe include that center fielder is also in severe danger of misplaying a ball as the shadows actually start to creep in now to left field. It's going to be another 20-ish minutes of defensive liability because of that sun.
Polsky throws a beautiful strike to Caleb Hommel. Second one zips in there for 0-2. Caleb Hommel hasn't even attempted a swing.
Now, I know we've got a ton of baseball left to play, but 4-0 in an open division game feels like
it's getting in that danger zone as the 0-2 misses upstairs for 1-2.
It feels like, you're either going to reach angry Tatis point where Grossmont just gets so frustrated that they got to start hacking, or desperation point, and that's where you're on that fine edge right now. Grossmont needs to stay controlled, stay within themselves, do what got them here.
1-2 from Chabolski, just misses off the plate. And will they say he went around? They did not. So the count evens up at 2-2. And for Hommel, a senior, the best batting average on the team, batting .477. Incredible 131 plate appearances, 107 at-bats to lead the way. 2-2, this one is rocked into left field. It's a line drive, and it's gloved by Lazima out in left field for a great snag out of the air for out number 1.
Just bringing up everyone to speed on how we actually got to this championship game. The number 3 seeded Grossmont they took down La Costa Canyon twice, Santana once to get here as the 3 seed. The number 8 seeded Eastlake, they took down San Marcos, Sage Creek, San Marcos, and San Marcos. Having to beat San Marcos having to play San Marcos 3 times.
That's the interesting thing about the high school baseball playoffs, which we'll touch on as this game progresses. After this first pitch that will be thrown to Justin Brown. Now,
psych.
Justin Brown will step out of the batter's box for a moment. It's double elimination in high school baseball. So when you're looking at the paths to reaching this point, a lot of these teams have lost one game, but are still in here as the slider misses off the plate.
Well, and that's where at the division by division level, you see just how good the open and D1 teams really are, because they're stacked, they're deep, they're able to handle extra games with pitching still in numbers. They're able to hit. They're able to not have it be like, oh, we squeaked one out.
Chabolski paints a fastball on the lower part of the outside corner for 1 ball and 1 strike. Justin Brown, 6'3", senior, batting .354. Another one of these guys that can rake for Grossmont. One of the best offenses in the Grossmont Hills League and in the San Diego section. 1-1 slider misses just off the plate for 2-1. That's some good movement, good tail at the end of that for Chabolski. He is such a talented pitcher. Again, selected to this year's All-Star game that will be played at Petco Park. Representative of the East team, committed to Long Beach State. 2-1. Fastball misses low and outside, and it's 3-1.
We could probably do a whole half inning just on the commitments.
Absolutely.
From both of these teams. How worried do you think USC is about their potential shortstop, Marcelo Mayer, not showing up?
If they're watching this game tape, he already has an RBI, so they got to be pretty worried. 3-1 is hit right down the middle into the gap.
What a
the defense shifted to cover the 2 parts of the field, the right field and the left field, left the center just wide open, and he found the hole and he hit it right through.
I mean, you just got to give the props to the hitter there. He went down and got it. Justin Brown reached basically to his shoe tops with the bat there and just sprayed something back up. Didn't try to do too much. That's what I'm saying. Stay within themselves. That's how the bloom and a blast adage type baseball.
First hit given up by Chabolski tonight. The bottom of the second. Titans in front 4-0. And Barron Zamora will call for time.
Barron Zamora, one of the walk-off authors in these two teams' first meeting this year. He ended the game with a walk-off grand slam that our Jonathan Rifkin was there to call. Really an amazing, of all the walk-offs, a grand slam. Oof, put that on the poll. That might be the top one.
Takes a ball right there. So up in the count 1-0 with one on. Brown over at first and one gone in the bottom of the second. Chabulski fires. Good movement, just misses off the plate on the breaking ball, and it's 2-0. Grossmont 29-5, 19-2 at home, 9-3 away, 1-0 neutral games. Again, finishing first in the Grossmont Hills League, just ahead of Granite Hills, that we just saw. And Zamora rips one into right center field, into the gap, and it drops for a base hit. Rounding second, coming to third is Brown. He'll round third to come on home, and an RBI double for Barron Zamora brings Justin Brown all the way home to score, and it's 4-1 now. Titans still in front.
That's the stepping stone right there. Little hit, big hit. Ball, I mean, that it had some tail coming from the right-handed bat versus the right-handed pitcher. It was tailing away towards that right center gap, got all the way to the wall. Really never any danger of a play at the plate there. Trade places with him.
And now Max Callender steps in. Will try and ride the momentum. Grossmont with a runner in scoring position. It's Zamora all the way at second base after his RBI double. Chabulski misses inside, and it's 1-0.
This is where this starts to feel like a heavyweight title fight. This was 4-0 60 seconds ago. Now you're thinking to yourself, man, this could be 4-3 in about 60 seconds.
Max Callender with a chopper to first. It's collected by Valarelli, who steps on the bag, but not before Zamora can advance to third. So a individual put out by Valarelli over at first base. First base retires Callender, but Zamora is now 90 feet away from home plate. And Christian, if you're Grossmont, if you can somehow find a way to bring Zamora home, you're looking at this deficit. You're only down 2-0 with still a boatload of time
that's
left.
Where it feels like a heavyweight title fight. You feel like just when one person was on the ropes, they throw a singular punch, and you're like, this one could be, we could be watching the knockout right here.
So the unassisted out puts two away, and a nice breaking ball to Luke Williams, delivered by Chabulski. I think Williams was expecting a faster pitch, and it kind of caught him by surprise, the slower pace of it. So 0-1. Zamora over at third base. 4-1, Eastlake in front.
I believe that is pulling the string on him.
0-1, just whistles outside for 1-1. Luke Williams, also a senior, has played sparingly, just his 45th at-bat and his 23rd game played this year. He'll call for time. And Christian, when the sun's beginning to set, who do you think the advantage goes to, the pitcher or the batter?
This isn't really a comes in and out of the shadows type situation where I would say that those belong exclusively to the pitcher. This is just a really well-positioned field that most of the issues are outfield, maybe a little bit of the shortstop. The hitter and pitcher combo isn't affected too much. So if anything, I'd say you give a little bit of an advantage to the hitter because the ball starts to pop a little bit more as things get dark. That white ball on the dark backdrop can be a little bit easier to pick up.
Chabulski takes the sign, deals the 1-0 curveball. This is a pop-up into the infield. Mora's coming underneath it, and he'll make the catch. So they leave Zamora on over at first, but not before they're able to tack on one run on two hits, no errors, and one left on base. Grossmont trying to trim into this deficit one inning at a time. They trail Eastlake 4-1 as we head into the top of the third. You're listening to the CIF Prep Insider San Diego section Boys Baseball Open Division Championships, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. Marcelo Mayer, who hit an RBI single his first time up, will get things started for 8-seeded Eastlake as he takes a strike on the outside corner. Evan Vasilou entering his third inning of work. And a lot of times these guys are heralded and praised. This guy has really lived up to the hype so far, and really just in the first inning, even though he takes a ball right there, 1-1, but just his presence and command in the batter's box, so intimidating to opposing pitchers as Vasilou delivers a low fastball.
Bro, he looks
for 2-1.
the part, is what you're trying to say. In your very grandiose ways, just he looks and acts the part. Like,
no question about it. 2-1 is sliced into left field. No defense is there. Barnes is having to cover it. Marcelo rounding first and coming to second, and a stand-up double for Marcelo Mayer, who's 2 for 2 to start.
I got to compliment Marcelo on the piece of hitting there, because stay within yourself, go opposite field on a ball that's on the outer third, like textbook beautiful hit there. But man, why are you knocking your helmet off, rounding first on a double? That was a Dave Winfield-esque move where I guarantee you that helmet did not come off because it was too loose.
That at bat, that's the first thing that comes to mind is the fact that his helmet came off running.
He doesn't need to die. He doesn't need to drop an extra.
It's all about dramatizing. That's what these athletes are doing nowadays. It's all about dramatizing the moment. It's theatrics.
I don't know, man. I'm calling shenanigans.
Listen, you go 2 for 2. You can let that helmet come off your head. Valarelli shows bunt, lays it down the third baseline, collected by Vasilou, who trying to make the throw to first. He does. I truly think that even though he gets Valarelli out, I think that if Valarelli had ran the bases just a little bit harder, he might have been able to get there.
Well, we've seen it, sometimes end up with a double pump or something, and you'll just get as close as can be. But ruthless baseball there by Dave Gallegos, the head coach at Eastlake. You got your 3 guy up, bunt with him, get Marcelo over.
He advances Mayer to third. Now Nico Liebed with 1 out.
Nico is a USD commit, another one of the kids here that we were talking about. We could spend a whole half inning talking about commits, but always nice to make a special little acknowledgement of those who are choosing to stay local. Infield in for Grossmont, across the board.
1-0 pitch taken over the heart of the plate for strike 1. Mayer 90 feet away from home, just 1 out. They're threatening to tack on a 5th run. Vasilou takes the sign. Piers delivers. This one's rocked into center field. That will drop for a base hit. Mayer's going to come home to score. And an RBI single from Nico Liebed pushes the lead back to 4. It's 5-1 Eastlake.
Well, and I just got to say, A, that is the cutest bat boy I have ever seen. Looks like he's about 5 years old running on the field right there. Adorable for Eastlake. But B, man, for as much as baseball right now as a generation is seeing home run after home run and power hitting and big swinging and launch angles, this has been contact station to station, really just good, entertaining baseball.
Methodical, just eating apart right now. Evan Vasilou, who again, he's been fantastic. A 1.49 ERA, 11-0 record on the season, and he's given up 5 runs in the top of the third. The southpaw deals a strike that paints the outside corner, but they'll need him to regain his form and find his stuff. I understand this is a really difficult and high-powered Eastlake team, but he's nothing to snooze at either. A really good player committed to UC Irvine. 1-1 is a fly ball into center field. Callender will take a couple steps back and make the catch for out number 2.
It's important to note to everybody out there listening, sun is no longer an issue for any of these fielders. Everything has now kind of gone behind the ridge. Beyond left field, the sun still kind of paints the picture, provides some ambient light, but it is now a night game. We are under the lights here in Poway. Oh, what are you doing there?
And Liebed thought about running.
Those half steal things, those stress me out. Even as a spectator, those stress me out because I'm always just like, what are you doing stranded out there? I know you got a plan as a runner, but oof. That's going to drop.
This one's shot into right field. It will drop for a base hit just along the first base line. Coming to third is Liebed. And a stand-up single for Nick Rocha.
Well, and credit Nico Liebed with the solid heads-up base running to be chugging full time on that one. you've seen it now a couple of times where Eastlake, the runners, know exactly what to do at the crack of the bat. And it's a compliment to the players themselves who are studying up on the situation, but that's a huge compliment to the coaching staffs being able to put their guys in a position to, first and third right now is much bigger than first and second. It just feels different in a championship game when that guy's only 90 feet away, and Eastlake really showing that they're able to keep their foot on the gas right now.
We'll see if they can produce more runs with 2 outs as Leonhardt steps in and takes a strike on the outside corner. Nice low fastball delivered by Vasilu. Runners at the corners, Liebed over at third, Rocha at first. Mayer already scored in this inning on an RBI single from Liebed, and Vasilu's pitch is fouled back and away for 0-2. And I think at this point, it's a lot about damage control. Again, we know how explosive this Grossmont offense is. So if you can keep this a 4-run game.
You saw it last half inning. It came, we got a runner situation.
And Rocha is going to take off, but they will not even allow for a pickle situation to ensue.
That's what I was saying, man. That stresses me out.
For a second, I thought Vasilu might have been called for a balk, but instead just walks back onto the mound. That's a dangerous play. He's a lefty, too, so you can see the base runner as Vasilu fires low fastball, got him swinging.
That Leonhardt wanted there.
4 strike 3, so able to close it out, retiring Leonhardt, but not before giving up 1 run on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 left on base. 5-1, 8-seeded Eastlake Titans over the 3-seed Grossmont Foothillers. You are listening.
John, if you don't mind, let's
Yes,
stay
you want to keep it here.
Oh, yeah, I'd like to give just some shout-outs to some of the teams winning championships today from around the section, as well as some of the basketball teams that are still going tonight in the state playoffs. We have tons of that content at SD Prep Insider on all of our social media. But the Division 5 champs for baseball, Orange Glen, you love the Patriots winning at that lower division because they are a new program with a new head coach this year. Just a lot of feel good around that story. We mentioned the Carlsbad Lancers. They are Division 2 champions. The game that we saw here beforehand, Granite Hills wins the Division 1 championship. Over in softball, we have El Camino bringing home the Division 3 championship today. Holtville bringing home the Division 4 championship today. A lot of action still to be decided tonight at all sorts of sites. We've got Bishop's girls water polo just won the Open Division championship. Jonathan Rifkin called that game. You can also hear Rifkin on our YouTube stream calling the boys Open Division game between Cathedral and Bishop's tonight. Started 17 minutes ago, so a ton of championship information still to be disseminated. Because my goodness gracious, has this been a crazy 48 hours closing out the high school season. Like I mentioned, though, we got a couple of state games playing tonight. Santa Fe Christian playing for a state basketball championship. Torrey Pines playing for a state basketball championship. Coronado and Orange Glen playing for state basketball championships. There are 2 other teams that I'm completely disrespecting by not remembering who they are currently off the top of my head. But we will have information for them as well. We're towing that fine line of is too much good stuff in life, because there might be too many good plot lines and stories today from around the San Diego CIF.
There's an embarrassment of riches across all sports in this area. There's no question about that.
Well, and we'll take all of the state basketball titles we can on the year where the Southern section bows out of the championships. Man, we're not too ashamed as a section to take those.
And we'll see how this championship game continues to progress.
I'll tell you, however this one ends, though, I'm happy with the winner of this representing us as a section at the state baseball playoffs this year.
Absolutely. Ray Chabolski fires inside. It's swung on and missed by Reggie Williams.
Bottom of the order, 9-1-2 for Grossmont this inning as they look to get something started again.
The senior down the count 0-1. Hasn't been up yet. A chopper to third. Well collected by Lane, who fires it over to first in time to Valarelli for out number 1.
When you can't, I mean, I shouldn't say you can't. It is hard to overstate the importance of out number 1 after you get a run the previous half inning. Coming out and getting that first guy, saying, hey, all right, let's settle back in, guys. Let's not let Grossmont get any foothold here, because that's all that Grossmont did last game. It was a little bloop, opened up the floodgates, and you felt like, oh my goodness, this could be a tied game real quick.
Vasilou steps in.
Oh, and that got him.
And it clipped his shoulder. Evan Vasilou, the pitcher, takes a pitch, the upper extremity, and he'll make the walk over to first base. Perhaps this can inspire this team a little bit. One of the underlining storylines and narrative surrounding this game is that Grossmont has beaten Eastlake 3 times this year. And whenever you think about motivation and redemption, inspiration coming into moments like this, you need something fueling you, and Eastlake certainly has that to draw back on as Chabolski misfires to Noah Barnes off the plate for 1-0. Barnes was struck out looking his first time up. And Chabolski in his 3rd inning of work, just 1 strikeout, and he throws back over to first. Vasilou gets back in time to the bag. 5 hits for Eastlake on 5 runs. Grossmont just 1 run on 2 hits and 3 errors. Those 3 errors have been costly. And again, another throw over to first base, trying to really discourage Vasilou from taking a chance at running to second. So Barnes steps in, the right-hander, waving that bat over his right shoulder. Chabolski takes the sign and fires one that zips in there for a strike.
Second time through the order now for Ray. Chabolski with Eastlake. You never know what that really means, because they've seen him now a couple of times this season, but you wonder, is he going to change up his plan of attack? He had a really good first time through this order. So, yeah, does he change anything? You think maybe not, but
at this point, everything he's been doing has been working wonders for the most part. 1-1 off speeder is fouled out of play. Liebid can't track it down, and it's 1-2.
It's been something we've seen all day, and it's important to bring up to everybody right now listening to this game. The foul territory here for Poway is generous. It's ample. There's plenty of room equally on both sides for a ton of out potential for pop-ups that might not exist at other schools.
Barnes batting .484 on the season. 1-2. This one's chopped to second. Mora collects. Underhand tosses it to Valarelli at first for 2 away. Advancing to second is Vasilou. So they're only able to get 1 out. Grossmont's got a runner in scoring position, but another favorable situation for the Titans in damage control.
Well, and some credit out there at second base with some soft hands. My goodness, that ball was about a 30-foot chopper. Caught it on the short hop. Brought it just right in to that little golden zone where you can just slow the ball down. Don't have to make something crazy happen, any crazy stab at it.
Foothillers lost to Westview in the Division I championship game last year, 1-0. So
2 years ago.
2 years ago. I think about one year ago, just because of COVID kind of preventing a postseason last year. So it feels like it's been last year, but was in 2019. They've had 3 players this year selected to the All-Star game at Petco Park.
Well, let's be real. Let's be real. We're watching what could be an All-Star game right here.
Absolutely.
If you just put a random shuffler on and put random uniforms,
musical chairs with all of these players.
Yeah, no, I'm saying if you just picked random high school uniforms out of a box this year to put these kids in, you'd be like, yeah, this makes sense. These are all the best of the best from around the county.
1-0 curveball drops in the inside corner for a strike. Great pitch from Chabolski. Evens it up at 1-1. 2 gone in the bottom of the third. Vasilou over at third base. Chabolski takes a look over at second and fires just off the plate, and it's 2-1. Eastlake had to go through San Marcos 3 times.
And that
number
was
one
of the
seed
best San
in
Marcos
route to
teams in school history.
en route to making it into this championship game. Jabolski takes a look back, now fires a two-seamer that drops in, and it just missed below, but it got Gomez swinging out in front, and it's 3-1. Or will they say that he didn't even swing all the way around on that and just call it a ball?
No, I think they're just saying ball.
Looked like he had swung at that, but goes against Jabolski. 3-1 slider just misses off the plate, and it's a 5-ball walk. And this 2-out rally perhaps can get started. Gomez drawing a walk. Vasilu over at third base, and now Caleb Hummel will step in. He lined to left field his last time up, but on the year, another one of these reliable batters. 55 RBIs on 51 hits, 10 doubles, 11 home runs for Caleb Hummel.
That's all right. It's whatever.
The crazy thing is that's the second best mark on the team. Gomez actually leads the team in home runs with 14. So they've got some power hitters on this ball club without a question. 2 on, 2 out. Jabolski fires to Hummel, off speeder down the middle for a strike. All about damage control. If you're Jabolski, trying to keep this a 4-run lead, 5-1 Titans in front. Fastball, added some mustard on it, but missed below the belt, and it's 1-1.
I would like to add that we now see people overflow seating in the football bleachers.
And Hummel will step out of the batter's box and call for time. This is a big spot right here, Christian. As we've talked about, this game almost feels like it's hanging in the balance. This is the third inning, but
I wouldn't say hanging in the balance, but this feels like this could be
it feels like this could be a turning point
that turns it all around.
Exactly.
This could be one pitch that keeps it as Eastlake's game. Like, everything here feels like a haymaker.
If the Titans can somehow get out of this with Jabolski keeping this a 4-run difference.
A 5-1 game in the bottom of the third. You don't usually think of that being as high stakes, high stress, but this feels like this could very quickly be 7-5 Grossmont, when you blink.
And another pitch misses outside, and it's 2-1. Hummel steps back in. Low pitch, and that is a 4-pitch walk. So Hummel goes over to first base. They didn't adjust it on the monitor, but he was actually up in the count 3-1. So Vasilu advances to third, Gomez to second, and Hummel to first on back-to-back walks. So good patience being shown right now by Grossmont. And Justin Brown is actually one of the best guys you want to have out there right now if you're Grossmont. He's 1 for 1 so far in this game. Ultimately came around to score the only run of the game for the Foothills. And now a meeting on the mound. The pitching coach will come to have a chat. This is a big spot. Bases loaded with 2 out in the bottom of the third. And as we've talked about, yes, it's only the bottom of the third, but it's a 5-1 game. And one swing of this bat, Christian, could tie this thing up.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Brown's hit 8 home runs this year as well.
Dude, go up and down those home run numbers on both sides. It's pretty ridiculous what we're talking about here from high school kids. Do just want to bring up, like I was trying to paint the picture, the left field. Beyond the left field wall here, we have the back of the visitor bleachers for the football field. That entire top row has a Wrigleyville vibe now of people across at another athletic complex just standing there watching this game. Right field is covered The hill out there is entirely covered with people that are not able to get into this game. You'll love seeing, coming out of a pandemic year, there has to be closing in on 1,000 people here at this baseball game right now.
So despite the 3 errors already committed
nobody cares
by
about
Grossmont,
errors.
they've got an opportunity with one swing of the bat to tie this thing up at the bottom of the third. Bases loaded. First pitch low and in the ground for ball 1 to Justin Brown, who's stepping in for a second plate appearance. Hit a single his first time up.
Last game of the season, got to leave it all out there.
The senior trying to deliver his team a big-time hit. Chabulski peers and fires. Gorgeous fastball whizzes in there for 1-1.
I got to give you a compliment, Jonah. Your descriptive adjectives about fastballs. They are diverse. They are verbose. They are eloquent. They are beautiful.
Got to paint the picture as best as we can.
Theater of the mind.
We're all thespians here. 1-1. Got him swinging on the outside. Great movement on that breaking ball. And it's 2-1 to Justin Brown. Hummel at first, Gomez at second, Vasilu over at third. Vasilu really led things off after being hit by the pitch with 1 gone. Reggie Williams actually led off the inning with a 5-3 putout. 2-1, zips in there, got him chasing up the ladder for the strikeout. Huge time strikeout from Ray Chabulski, struck out Justin Brown, just the second K of the night, but it was the biggest one of the game. And with the bases loaded, able to work out of the jam is Chabulski, and this is still a 4-run lead. 5-1, number 8 seeded Eastlake up over 3 seed Grossmont as we head into the top of the 4th. You're listening to the Prep Insider CIF San Diego section Boys Baseball Open Division Championships presented by Mission Fed Credit Union. Welcome back to Poway High School alongside Christian Pedersen, Jonah Malkin. Delighted to be with you. The top of the 4th we go, and a liner off the first pitch to Sebastian Sanchez. It's snagged out of the air by Brown for out number 1.
See,
hey,
Jonah, look, there's the bat boy that I was talking about.
Cute bat boy.
Adorable.
For Grossmont, the designated home team. So an L3 to Sebastian Sanchez after being walked and coming around to score his last time up in the 2nd. Heads up play from Justin Brown. A little bit of redemption moment after being struck out to end the bottom of the 3rd with the bases loaded, trying to make a play on the defensive side, and he does.
So, Jonah, in your professional opinion, what did we just see at that last half inning? Did we see Grossmont's momentum get nipped in the bud, or did we see that there are cracks in Eastlake's armor?
I think that it's so tough because there's only 7 innings, so you don't have that much wiggle room right now if you're Grossmont, as the 1-1 misses below the zone for 2-1 to Daniel Mora. Back to the top of the order we go for Eastlake. I do think that was a big situation, a big spot for Grossmont to potentially tack on some runs. A 2-hopper to short. Williams is there in time and makes the play to first to Brown for out number 2. So 2 quick outs to start the top of the 4th for Grossmont. I will say this, they are getting the barrel of the bat a lot more, and they're making Chabolski have to work with it, inducing a couple different walks, doing some different things to make him
this
work.
Isn't going to be a 7-inning Ray Chabolski. Just too many pitches, too little swings and misses to count on him being able to go all 7 for Eastlake.
The Silu 1-0 is fouled back by Ethan Lazima.
And I would be saying that with a 10-run lead, with a 15-run lead, with a 100-run lead. The amount of swings and misses just is not there for Ray today to count on him being able to go, a dominant, signature performance, if you will, for a CIF championship.
In his 4th inning, has given up 4 hits, 4 runs, all unearned. This is a soft roller, a grounder to second. Bigley's there and tosses it over to Brown at first. 3 up, 3 down in a quick top of the 4th, the quickest half of an inning that we've had. And as we head into the bottom of the 4th, let's keep it here. Christian, if you are Grossmont, you just posed the question to me. Let me send it back to you. What's the strategy right now? 3 innings gone. You still have 4 innings to go. Are you trying for the power play, or you're trying to just get singles and kind of generate some momentum that way?
And that's why I've hoisted it as cracks in the armor. This still looks like Grossmont has to get something else going to get that extra gear, because they didn't get that big hit. They didn't get any of that bases loaded runs in. There wasn't bases loaded, sack fly, load back up, get out of the inning. Yeah, it'll make it feel okay. It was a 0 up on that scoreboard. So they know they can get guys on, but you're absolutely right that they need that big play, that big power hit, that big moment. I think right now, though, your thing is keep taking pitches. That's what you need to have happen, is keep working counts. Keep taking pitches. If Ray is showing you anything, it's that he does not have that 100% command right now. And if you can get a runner on with a free pass, that's what you got to do. You got to work some counts. You got to get some guys on, and then you can take a little bit of that pressure off and go back to just singles in the gap, driving balls, on the ground, and not having to have home runs, because this is not necessarily a hugely home run friendly park. Even at the 315 sign in the left, where it is at its shortest, it has to be a 17-foot fence out there. I mean, that adds a little bit of an element of having to lift the ball. You don't have a short porch anywhere that you can try and hook them and get back-to-back home runs, get in it that way. You got to play within the confines of this field. So in a long-winded answer, I'm a little worried if I'm Grossmont that I couldn't get a single run in there. But I'm optimistic that we've seen opportunities to have guys on base.
You've highlighted the importance of that first out, and we'll see Baron Zamora to lead off for Grossmont in the 6th spot. On deck is Max Callender.
I mean, Baron Zamora could also hit one 600 feet right now and change the whole momentum.
And he hit the only RBI of the game as well, was Baron Zamora. So he'll get things started in the bottom half of the 4th. The top half of the 4th was a quick 3 up, 3 down. Chabolski still on the mound, and his first pitch is fouled down the third base line for strike number 1. Chabolski was able to work out of a bases-loaded predicament.
Well, and with a 4-run lead, you probably give Ray a little. I'm leaning out of our press box right now to see if there's nobody down there in the Eastlake bullpen. So I'm saying with a 4-run lead, you probably give Ray a little bit of leeway to work in and out of some trouble.
Just threw a fastball for a strike. Count is 0-2. Polsky takes a sign from Leonhardt. Toes the rubber and deals to Zamora. An off speeder misses high and inside, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
That's an excellent take there, and that's what I was talking about. They got to be able to work those counts, extend the at-bats, come up with their pitches.
Foothiller's riding a 3-game win streak, but that's in jeopardy right now. High fastball got him chasing up the ladder. An opportunity for a 2-3 throw out, and a good-looking throw from Leonhardt after the strikeout. Then the 2-3 put out sends Zamora back to the bench, and there's 1 gone in the bottom of the 4th. And now the center fielder, Max Callender, Another senior, 5'11" on this team. Versatile player, has sometimes sparingly played pitcher for this team. Batting .295 on the year with 15 RBIs. The southpaw needs to deliver a base hit, but he takes a strike on the inside for 0-1. He was put out on an unassisted ground ball to Valarelli over at first base his last time up. Just 2 hits for Grossmont. That's led to 1 run, and holds back his swing. Good take for 1-1. Grossmont, just such a tremendous season. They're winners of 3 straight games. 1-1, whistles in there for 1-2. And the velocity of the fastball just pounding that glove of Leonhardt. You could feel the heat on that fastball from Chabulski. An eerie silence for the Grossmont fans. 1-2, cut on and missed for strike 3. Chabulski is in his bag right now, 2 up, 2 down. The 4th strikeout of the night for Chabulski. The sun has fully set. Field lights shining brightly down onto this beautiful baseball field at Poway High School. But Christian has talked about the dimensions and the space, ample room to chase down balls in foul territory, 400 feet to dead center. We haven't seen a home run hit in the first 2 games that we've called, as Luke Williams will take a ball above the strike zone. It was reported that there was a home run in the very first game that was played, not on one of these 2 streams. 1-0 slider way off the plate for 2-0. And you just wonder, Christian, if Chabulski is starting to lose some steam, even though he's just struck out 2.
I said that last inning that he does not have his best stuff today. And I would be very surprised if they let him go 7. It's because the lead has extended and they just let him go because they want to let him go. Not because they have extreme confidence in him having his 100% stuff.
Chabulski with a 6-2 record, 2.44 ERA. Perfect fastball right down La Jolla for 2-1. Chabulski takes the sign. Williams digs back in. Fastball just clipped off the barrel of the bat. And
fouled straight back, got Leonhardt right in the mask.
Brings the count now full at 3-2. Eastlake, ranked number 5 in the CIF San Diego section. But again, they've got the best player in baseball, at least at the high school level. Christian and other pundits believe this guy could be a generational player in Marcelo Mayer, and he has certainly shown nothing tonight that would discredit that opinion. He's been absolutely sensational, but he's gotten some help from his team, and now the pressure shifts to Grossmont, trailing 5-1 in the bottom of the 4th. Full count, nobody on and 2 away. Just 2 hits mustered up by this Foothillers team, seeking some kind of energy and juice. Here comes the offering. Payoff pitch on its way. High chopper to third.
They fouled it off.
And that is a fortunate call right there.
It's really quiet right now.
You can feel that eerie silence, and I think a lot of it is because
going on,
of the Grossmont fans kind of anxiously awaiting for some kind of momentum and momentous play. Luke Williams looking to keep this inning alive. for Grossmont. Payoff pitch. Got him again. Rings him up, 3 down. Retires the side, and Chabolski records his 5th strikeout and keeps this a 5-1 game. And you can see the dejection on the side of Grossmont as we head into the top of the 5th. Number 8, Eastlake, up over 3 seed Grossmont with perhaps 3 innings remaining. You're listening to the Prep Insider CIF San Diego section Boys Baseball Open Division Championship, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union.
It's delicate.
Marcelo Mayer, who's 2 for 2 to start this ball game, here to lead things off for the Titans in the top of the 5th. And he will rip one into deep right field. This one's going back, and it is tracked down by Callender to make the catch for out number 1, but he got a clean contact on that swing. Looked like it had a chance, but then kind of sunk down at the end. Good defensive play from Callender to register the first out. But even on that out, making him 2 for 3, still great contact for Mayer. And the first pitch to Valarelli is fouled back for 0-1. Valarelli is 0 for 2. Was thrown out by the pitcher his last time up with a roller up the middle. Then was struck out and thrown out on a 2-3 putout in the first inning with a first baseman. And this one is shot into right field for a base hit. So it doesn't matter what kind of unproductive at-bats he had prior to that. He gets on base right there with a 1-out single. And the southpaw, Evan Vasilou, still out on the mound. Coach Abruzzo is still riding him as long as he can. And 2 seamers in there for a strike. Nico Liebed stepped in, took the strike. Just hit an RBI single his last time up and was struck out his first time. So 1-2. And he has to dig deep to pop this one up to center. And Callender is there for his second catch and his second out. So the Titans are making Callender work out there in center field. 2 up, 2 gone. 3 up, 2 gone. And now Isaiah Lane stepping in.
I like that 3 up, 2 gone. Keep going with that motif several innings and see if you get like a 6 up, 2 gone. Like,
see how many I can do before it just gets ridiculous to keep track of.
Got 14 up, man, 2 gone.
I think people will appreciate it at some point, whether
people
or not.
Appreciate everything about you, Jonah. You're here calling a high school baseball game on a beautiful summer night. And I say summer because it is summer break already for darn near every one of these schools. It's a little absurd.
Temperature is beautiful right now. It was blistering hot earlier today in the mid 80s, and now it's sunk to the high 60s, low 70s. As Lane fouls it back for 1-2.
He looks so awkward out there. Folks, for those of you that have ever seen an Alex Pause video, we got one coming from this game. It's going to be great, but that kid does not fit in perfectly with baseball.
Fouls the pitch back again, so it stays at 1-2.
Red basketball
5
shorts,
runs.
red basketball shoes and jeans, man.
Agreed. These guys are working hard. The game staff. 1-2. Sinks below the zone, and it's 2-2.
I mean, the game's operation staff here at Poway deserves a million times the credit that they will ever get
The
for
logistics,
executing this
absolutely
as beautifully as they are. I mean, what are we talking about here? This is great. I mean, this is picturesque tonight.
And a big thanks to Powwow High School for
also
hosting
Poway.
this event. Poway High School, apologies. It's just called out by the game staff. And
that is the one person allowed to
strikeout to Isaiah Lane. Ends the inning.
Is he not welcome back now on campus ever again?
Was just chewed out.
What's that?
Rightfully so.
Yeah, you can also give a thanks to Poway.
So no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. 5-1 as we head into the bottom of the 5th. Grossmont trailing by 4. They've got to generate some offense. Will they get it in the bottom of the 5th?
Nope.
We'll find out. You're listening to the Prep Insider CIF San Diego section. Boys Open Division Championship. Welcome back to Poway High School. We've got a great baseball game, not necessarily from a score perspective, but from featuring the best baseball players in the San Diego section, and you could argue the entire state of California and the U.S., some of the best players originating out of this area.
I'd say the world.
And it's 5-1, 8-seeded Eastlake over 3-seed Grossmont heading into the bottom of the 5th. Ray Chabolski still on the mound. And the first pitch just tipped foul down the first base line for Reggie Williams.
I'd put Eastlake against the best high school that Japan or Korea or anybody could throw out. You know,
that's saying a lot. There are a lot of talented teams.
Oh, I understand
over there.
That.
Grossmont, as we've alluded to,
the only ones I might be concerned about would be a Dominican high school
selected to All-Stars. That's true. A lot of talented players from there. 0-1 to Reggie Williams, who's 0 for 1 in this game. Chabolski with 5 strikeouts.
And 2 hit batsmen.
Yep, got away from him. He clips Williams on the back. Williams had to turn to his side. And the second hit by a pitch in this ball game. Obviously unintentional, but perhaps this can jumpstart some offense for Grossmont in the bottom of the 5th.
And I want to stress to the people out there listening, the obvious unintentional is that 2 curveballs up and in that just got away from you can see the difference from a release point standard. If you're going after a guy with a fastball, you know, your body steps into it. You threw that at him. Those curveballs Ray was unhappy with. He wants them back and he goes straight at it with that next pitch. Nice hard fastball in the outer third.
Fastball up the middle for a strike. 0-1.
Or up the middle, either one.
Taken by Evan Vasuli. Starting pitcher. Back to the top of the order we go for the Foothillers.
Pick over to first.
And a pick attempt. Yep, throw over to first. They've tried that a bunch of times. We have actually yet to see a stolen base by Grossmont in this game, and a lot of that's been the strategy employed by Coach Gelagos as another throw over to first, trying to discourage as much as they can Grossmont from getting any players in scoring position. Just 2 hits for a Grossmont team that averages 351. There's a shot into left field. This one is
just
not off the
this
is off the glove of Lazima. And a double, big-time stand-up double for Evan Vasuli. Sends Reggie Williams to third. Vasuli over at second base. And 2 on and nobody out to start the bottom of the 5th. Big-time hack right there from Vasuli.
Well, this is going to be the biggest at-bat potentially of the game for Grossmont right now. Nobody out. Runners on second and third, and you're looking at a chance here with a 4-run deficit. Cut it down by huge strides with one swing here.
And now 2 runners in scoring position. It's still a 4-run game, 5-1. Vasilu at second and Reggie Williams at third. Noah Barnes, who's 0 for 2, steps in for his 3rd plate appearance. Jabolski peers and fires. Breaking ball is
deep enough to bring one in.
High flyer into second. Sanchez
go after him
catches.
at third. There
the
might
tag
be a play
from
there.
Second to third is not in
Oh!
time, and Reggie Williams also comes in to score.
And we both redline our mics. We apologize to everybody listening. Sack fly hit to center field straight away. Reggie Williams, as Jonas says, comes in to score from third. Play attempted at third base. The relay throw from Marcelo Mayer looked on point, exactly where he needed to get it, but calls him safe. So 1 out now, runner at third, 1 run in, 5-2 Eastlake here, bottom 5. Grossmont threatening though, because still only 1 out, so another sack fly. You can still trade a run for an out here, and you're in really good shape if you're Grossmont.
All started because of Reggie Williams getting hit by the pitch to start things off in the bottom of the 5th.
And whether hit by pitch or, drawing 4 balls, walks come back to hurt you. Walks come back to hurt you. I don't know who has said it most to me in my life, but I got like 3 different coaches' voices in the back of my head right now just saying it. Walks will come back to hurt you.
Perspiration affected that pitch from Chabolski, missed off the plate. It's 1 ball and no strikes to Isaiah Gomez, who reached base on a walk. His last time up was left stranded at second base. So 5-2. Chabolski deals. Beautiful fastball whizzed in there for 1-1. Just when you thought this crowd was going to erupt, Chabolski said, hold on 1 second. I've got something else in my bag.
That bag of his, man, must be pretty darn large.
It is deep. It's like in Harry Potter in that 7th
Santa
movie,
Claus.
part 1, when Hermione digs into her invisible
bag
that goes miles and miles deep. 1-1 off the glove of Leonhardt. Coming to score is Vasilu, and it's a 2-run game.
They checked down to first because I saw a check swing there. I thought that might have been a foul ball. They checked down and say he did not go, so it's called a ball. Run comes in to score on the wild pitch. I'm assuming it was what they're going to air.
Were they going to say a wild pitch?
No, yes.
It seemed potentially that Leonhardt
corralled
it.
I should not say that that's going to be a wild pitch because I'm not the official scorer.
So 2 runs come in.
Terrible, reckless journalism on my part.
So the base is clear. And it's 5-3, 1 out, bottom of the 5th. And a big hack by Gomez.
So I will ask this.
2-2.
I will ask this question out loud. Does clearing the bases hurt the rally? Does getting Ray back into the full windup with nobody on?
Beggars can't be choosers at this time in the game. I think if you're Grossmont, you'll take any type of momentum and base clearing you can get. They've been hard to come by, just a dearth of offense, just 3 hits for Grossmont. And one of those runs came from perhaps a wild pitch, depending on how they score it, as the 2-2 sails upstairs to bring the count full. Isaiah Gomez, another senior selected to the All-Star team, representing the East. Grossmont this season has spotted a .451 on-base percentage, .568 slugging percentage. They can bring guys home. 5-2, chased it on the outside and struck him out. Big time strikeout from Chabolski. And there's 2 gone in the bottom of the 5th. The 6th K for Chapolsky, and now Caleb Hommel, the statistically best batter for Grossmont up at the plate.
Jonah, I'm going to try and paint the audience a picture here. If I asked you what sport does Caleb Hommel play just based off of the size of his quads and glutes, would you say offensive line?
You could make an argument for it as he takes the ball on the inside. I would say he is built, stocky.
That's one of the biggest, thickest baseball players I have ever seen.
Certainly he's got legs for tree trunks, that's for sure.
Also tree trunks for legs.
Absolutely. Takes a fastball on the outside that misses, and it's 2-0.
Well, and this is where I say Ray has not had his best stuff. The lead is closed back in, so it would shock me if he comes back out here for another inning after this one. No action down in the Eastlake bullpen right now, but
2-0 fastball is in there for a strike.
It just seems like he's starting to labor on some of these counts and throw a lot of pitches in situations where you wouldn't want somebody throwing a ton of pitches if you're trying to say we're going to get.
And here's the interesting thing. This season, in 12 starts, he's hit batters only 7 times, twice already in this game alone. So you're talking about the nerves, potentially the stamina coming into play. 2-1, catches the outside corner for 2-2, just stuck in there.
And you wonder also if it's just trying to do too much, just trying to get too fancy, going inside with this, outside with that, changing up, going back, going here. Sometimes, you know, they can be Grossmont can be an imposing lineup, but if you're confident in your stuff, then you just gotta be all dancing through that like a dancing queen. Do you like ABBA? I love ABBA songs. I was listening to those all the drive in here today. Got those.
One thing I will say, that the dancing queen makes your footwork exceptionally better. And that's critical for a baseball game. Payoff pitch. The 2-2 missed in the dirt. Full count offering on its way from Chapolsky, and it's cut on and missed. Rings him up, the 7th K for Chapolsky. So he mitigates the damage at just 2 runs. 2 runs come around on no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. Well, we've got a ball game once again here at Poway High School. 5-3, number 8 Eastlake, holding on to a 2-run lead over 3-seeded Grossmont as we head into the top of the 6th. Don't go anywhere. Buckle up, everyone. These final 2 innings are going to be good.
Dang it, I forgot to close.
Welcome back to Poway High School. First pitch on its way and called a strike to Nick Rocha as we begin the top of the 6th. Eastlake up over Grossmont. Vasilu still on the mound for the Foothillers. Delivers 2 strikes right off the bat, up in the count 0-2 to Rocha, who hit a single his last time up. He's 1 for 2. 2-run game, 5-3. Eastlake 6 hits, 5 runs, no errors. And Vasilu's fastball in the dirt for 1-2. And so much of the attention has been on Chapolsky and his arm. And you have to wonder, as Vasilu misses outside for 2-2, whether he is starting to not only come up a little empty, but if his gas tank is on low, doesn't seem to be right there as he strikes out Rocha. He took a fastball on the inside corner for a strike. That's just the 4th K of the night for Vasilu. And now comes Brett Leonhardt, who helped contribute to one of the runs produced by the Foothillers. It was a wild pitch. He had an opportunity to perhaps glove it. It ricocheted off his glove, and he couldn't hold on, and it brought home for Grossmont Evan Vasilu, ironically enough, as the 1-0 pitch misses above the zone for 2-0 to Leonhardt. He came around to score the 3rd run of the game in the 2nd inning. 2-0 fastball paints the outside for 2-1. And that pitch below the zone, it's 3-1. Fourth meeting between these two teams. And this is a moonshot into deep right center field. Flips the bat, and this one is gone. Brett Leonhardt says goodbye to that baseball as he skyrockets one for the first home run of the evening. And Eastlake extends their lead 6-3. And he's mobbed at home plate. Brett Leonhardt with an absolute cracker to deep right field. Zamora didn't even run towards it, just stopped in his tracks, knew this one was gone. And the score is 6-3.
I would like to bring up also Brett Leonhardt. Very aggressive bat flip there. Very, very aggressive bat flip. Hearing that is only his 2nd home run this year. So why not have a guy that,
to the victors come the spoils.
Why not have a guy that not one of the primary players in this drama so far this season step up in the postseason?
Sebastian Sanchez took a ball, takes a second ball up in the count 2-0 with 1 away in the top of the 6th. Vasilu deals, clips the inside corner for a strike. 2-1 the count. For Leonhardt on the season, as this pitch is ripped foul.
As this air is cooling down and getting a little thinner, balls are starting to fly. Oof.
Just the 2nd home run of the season for Brett Leonhardt, but it couldn't have come out a better time than right now.
And he's only a sophomore. What is he, a sophomore?
Leonhardt,
is he a junior now?
As this pitch misses for 3-2.
Leonhardt
is a senior.
Oh, wow. That COVID year, man, really threw me off on everyone's.
Payoff pitch. Grounder up the middle. Diving attempt by Williams is no good. And Sebastian Sanchez with back-to-back hits for the Titans. He's safely aboard first. And now to the top of the order we go. Daniel Mora with his 4th now plate appearance, and we're still at the top of the 6th inning. Musilu works out the stretch. Runner's going to go, and Gomez won't even attempt to throw, so successfully stolen base by Sanchez.
A little bit of a mishandling there coming out of the crouch. That's all it takes at the speed of these runners.
The first legitimate stolen base of the ball game as well. 2-1 or 0-1 rather, fouled out of play, and it's 0-2.
Thank you, fans, for returning all foul balls to the nearest dugout.
Moore was thrown out on a 6-3, put out his last time up, advanced to second on an error in left field when the sun was just beaming down brightly on the outside in the outfield as that ball misses for 1-2, and then came around to score after reaching base his first time up. Scored the first run of the game for the Titans. 1-2, this one off the edge of the bat, and it's fair. Down the first base line it goes, rounding second and coming home to score is Sanchez.
Oh, that ball's into left.
And the
That
ball
ball's
gets
into left.
past
He's gonna get
the
to
glove
third.
of Williams, and to third base, Daniel Mora goes.
That is a careless throwing error there from Grossmont to allow the throw back into the infield to get past the shortstop and just kind of drift into no man's land out there in shallow left. Now you're going to get a meeting at the mound with Coach Abruzzo going out there to calm his boys down, get everything centered, because this real quick turned from 5-3 back into a 4-run lead with 7-3. Hold on a second. I got to step out for just a second.
So an RBI double from Daniel Mora brings home Sebastian Sanchez, and then the error advances him to third base. And now you look up at this score, and it's 7-2 in what has all of a sudden just shot the heart out of Grossmont. You just get the feeling, and you just wonder whether or not they've got enough in the tank. Quick pitching change, so we'll be back in a moment. New pitcher on the mound for the Grossmont Foothillers. It is Jaden Wilcox, the senior right-handed pitcher, who will take over for Evan Vasilu, who went 5 1/3 inning and gave up 7 hits on 7 runs. 3 of them, or 2 of them rather, were earned. 2 walks and 4 strikeouts for the senior southpaw. And now Jaden Wilcox throws his first pitch for a ball to Ethan Lazima, who's up for a second time. He's 0 for 1, but reached base on an error in the first inning, came around to score the second run of the game, and takes a big hack at that swing and miss for 1-1. Wilcox has appeared in 17 games, has started 10, 2.42 ERA, a 7-2 record in a tough spot with a runner at third. Fastball zips in there on the inside corner for 1-2. Daniel Mora over at third base hit an RBI double to bring Sanchez home and then advance to third on the error. 1-2 just fouled off the tip of the bat out of play behind us, and we'll do it again. completely nighttime here in San Diego at Poway High School. And this is a high fly ball into right field. Coming up to make the catch is Zamora. Tagging from third and coming home. The throw to home plate is not in time. And Mora with a slide into home plate to tack on another run. Makes the score 8-3 after the sac fly from Lazima. Makes the score 8-3 in the top of the sixth. And now Marcelo Mayer coming up for his fourth appearance. Had a great lick on the ball his last time up. Is 2 for 3 with 1 run and an RBI single. Wilcox gets the sign from Gomez and fires up and away for ball 1. The presence that he has in the batter's box, the type of respect that he commands, it's just palpable in this field. You know that when he steps in, he means business. He has been raking tonight. 1-0 misses again, up and away for 2-0. We talked about whether you want to pitch through guys in a position like this or try and pitch around them and circumvent that easier path. And it's tough when every single one of these guys can hit extremely well. 2-0 is sliced foul and back for 2-1. This top inning has been a long one, approaching now 25 minutes for just this top half of the sixth. In an inning that has produced 3 additional runs. And that one's in there below the belt, or right at the knees, I should say, for a strike at 2-2. To Marcelo Mayer, who flew out to center his last time up in the 5th. And he gets a piece of that pitch and fouls it away. So we'll do it again. Wilcox was also selected as an all-star on the East team, as only allowed a .257 on base. And that fastball misses inside for 3-2. Brings the count full. Mayer steps back in. Wilcox takes the sign. No one on base. 8-3 in the top of the 6th. Wilcox deals. And this one is spliced into left field, into the gap. Just blooped in there for a single. And Mayer is safely aboard for the 3rd time today. He's 3 for 4. The 4th hit of this inning with 2 out. And Nico Valarelli will step in. Valarelli 1 for 3. Reached base his last time up. Takes a strike on the outside. The throw back over to first from home is a little late, but the strike did come. So the count's 0-1. Nico Valarelli playing first base has done an admirable job. Hasn't necessarily had to do much in this ball game. Hasn't been the busiest, but will take a strike that paints the outside corner. Nice pitch from Wilcox. Kept it low and away from Valarelli for a strike. 0-2 the count. To the senior, also selected as an all-star first baseman on the East team, batting .350 on the season with 29 RBIs and 21 runs. This one dribbles down into shallow infield, and nice flip over from Williams to Brown for out number 3. So 3 runs come on the board on 4 hits, 1 error, and 1 left on base. A 3-run inning, or top of the half, for Eastlake and the Titans, the 8th seed in full control over 3 seed Grossmont in this CIF Championship Open Division game. You're listening to the Prep Insider CIF San Diego section. Boys Baseball Open Division Championship brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. Well, there certainly hasn't been a dearth of offense in this game as we welcome you back to Poway High School, and it is brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. Jonah Malkin on the call. Delighted to be with you. Appreciate you sticking with us and tuning in on a Saturday evening in what has been a showcase of the best here in San Diego. 8-seeded Eastlake Titans up over 3-seed Grossmont, and the Foothillers 8-3 as we begin the bottom of the 6th. A 3-run top of the 6th inning for the Titans, sparked by a solo shot home run from Brett Leonhardt with 1 out on that led to 2 other ensuing runs. The first home run of the game, and just a tremendous exclamation point on what's been a high-octane offense showing out. Eastlake batting .305 on the season, and now the pressure shifts to the designated home team, the Foothillers. And stepping in is Justin Brown to take a strike. He leads things off. Baron Zamora in the on-deck circle, and Max Callender waiting on deck. Not on deck, in the dugout. Pardon me. Second pitch, cut on and missed for a strike. 0-2 to Justin Brown, who struck out his last time up. Hit a single and came around to score in the second inning for Grossmont. 29-5, winners of 3 straight games. And check swing. They'll say he did not go around it, and it's 1-2. And all the momentum after 2 runs that the Foothillers produced in the 5th inning, all shot by 3 additional insurance runs in the 6th by the Titans. As a 1-2 curveball misses inside for 2-2. Very good today. Justin Brown took a strike. Apologies for the brief audio break. He was just struck out by Chabolski, who is still on the mound, dealing his 8th strikeout of the evening. Now comes on Baron Zamora with 1 away in the bottom of the 6th, 8-3, and he goes around it. A half-hearted swing, but he went around it for strike 1. He's 1-2 with an RBI single in the 2nd. Was struck out, and then a 2-3 putout his last time up in the 4th. Chabolski takes the sign and fires one in this one. This is high and deep to right field, closing in quickly on it, and can't not make the catch as Liebet. It drops for a base hit, and Zamora with a stand-up double with 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. trying to spark a rally. They can use it with a runner in scoring position, down 5 runs, 8-3. Max Callender, who's 0 for 2, comes up. Callender batting .295, 26 hits, 26 runs, 15 RBIs, 4 doubles, a triple, and a home run this year for the Southpaw. So Zamora over at second base. Grossmont Foothillers fan base eagerly awaiting something to cheer about. There's been cascading cheers from the Eastlake faithful. First pitch, breaking ball, just misses below the belt for ball 1. Max Callender, the center fielder, was busy back in the 5th inning, had 2 catches that led to a pretty quick out. 2 outs. Up in the count, 1 ball, no strikes. Just 4 hits for 3 runs for Grossmont. Waving that bat and a fastball, 2-seamer, sails above the zone for 2-0. Callender, a senior, another versatile player, plays outfield, but can pitch when called upon. Hasn't had to pitch too often, but when he does, he's made 3 appearances, a 12.6 ERA. Again, that's not his designated role, but when called upon, can serve that role. Big cut on and miss. 2-1. Jabolski fires. And again, a big hack at it, and he comes up blanket. 2-2. Big difference, 4 errors in this game committed by Grossmont. None for Eastlake in this ball game. Approaching 2 hours nearly in this ball game. The 2-2 sails up and away to bring the count full. It was a fast-paced first 3 innings, and then the last couple have slowed down precipitously. But none of these players care. They want a championship. And this one's ripped back and foul against the fence in front of us, protective fence. So the count remains full. Grossmont had to beat La Costa Canyon twice, along with Santana, to advance to this spot. They won 3 straight games, have just been a staple of consistency all year. Payoff pitch, big cut on and miss again. Callender goes down swinging. Chabolski rings up his 9th batter of the ball game.
Now batting for the Foothillers, the DH.
2 gone in the bottom of the 6th. And just 1 on. It's Zamora over at second base. And a first pitch taken by Luke Williams, who was struck out his last time up. For Chapolsky on the season, came into this game striking out 76. He has struck out 9 in this game, up to 85. 0-1 offering on its way to Williams. And slapped back, and it's 0-2. The designated DH in today's game is Luke Williams, the senior. Has contributed 182 batting average on the season, but 10 RBIs. Opportunity for a big RBI number 11. They need one desperately with 2 out and 1 on at second. 0-2 misses upstairs for 1-2. .66 degrees right now at Poway. It started at 84. at first pitch at 5 o'clock. 1-2. This is low and inside for 2-2. And it has officially eclipsed 2 hours in this ball game. Two to Williams. Offering on its way, fired inside, and rings him up. 2 straight strikeouts for Chapolsky to end the 6th inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base. 8-3 as we head into the top of the 7th. You are listening to the CIF San Diego section Open Division Boys Baseball Championships, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. Top of the 7th as we welcome you back to Poway High School. Jonah Malkin on the call. Delighted to be with you as we're presenting number 3 Grossmont and number 8 Eastlake, 2 of the best teams in the San Diego section, battling for an Open Division championship. Eastlake and the Titans looking to win back-to-back Open Division championships. They won 2 years ago, beating Poway 5-3. Last year there was no postseason. So seeking one this year, and the first pitch is a 2-seamer up the middle taken by Nico Liebed for strike number 1. Nico 1 for 3 with an RBI double in the 3rd inning. Wilcox still on the mound, back-to-back strikes now to Nico Liebed. He has come in admirably in a difficult spot with Vasilu, the starter, struggling in the top of the 6th inning. Gave up a hit and a run, but it was credited to Vasilu as the 0-2 misses in the dirt for 1-2. Jaden Wilcox, 2.42 ERA. And a brief meeting on the mound with Gomez and Wilcox, who was also selected as an all-star, representing the East team, along with his teammate Vasilu, who's committed to UC Irvine, and Isaiah Gomez, who's also selected to the All-Star game that's being played at Petco Park for the 3rd time ever, home of the Padres. 1-2 breaking ball is fouled away, and we'll do it again. Nobody away, 1-2 the count. Tight ends tonight, 8 runs on 10 hits, no errors. Foothillers, 3 runs on 4 hits and 4 errors. 1-2 off speeder, got him swinging for strike 3. Liebed goes down swinging. The first K for Wilcox, and 1 gone. Eastlake 24-9, 0-2 surprisingly in neutral games, finishing 3rd in the Metro Mesa League with a 9-3 record. But again, their roster just littered with absolute ballers. As the first pitch to Isaiah Lane is fouled out of play down the first base line for 0-1. Just a fantastic season all around 0-1 in the glove of Gomez for strike 2. This season, when you look at Eastlake and the schedule that they've had, beat Coronado, only lost to Torrey Pines, which is a difficult loss as the 1-2 sails past the glove of Gomez for 2-2. Big wins over Westview and Helix. Granite Hills, of course, an in-league foe, a very talented team. They beat Point Loma. They beat Chula Vista twice. They beat San Ysidro twice. As the 1-2 is fouled back, this is a really tested team, along with wins over San Marcos this postseason, that has been tested. And the pedigree that they have shown year after year is nothing short of spectacular. Epitomizing dominance in the San Diego section, and it's been led by Marcelo Mayer. The breaking ball is lifted high into right field. Not much moving for Zamora. It gets underneath it to make the grab. 2 up, 2 down in the top of the 7th. So a strikeout and a fly out to right field puts 2 on the board, and now Nick Rocha, who's 1 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a base hit, comes up to the plate. First pitch is popped high and over our press box head. 0-1. Wilcox out of the stretch. 0-1. Nice looking fastball. Paints the outside corner for 0-2. And he's had tremendous control over his pitches. I think if you're just tuning in and you see the score, that damage was not done because of him on the mound. As the 0-2 protective swing by Nick Rocha, able to foul it off. He's been tremendous, Jaden Wilcox. Again, another senior, 6'1". Shows tremendous poise and presence on the mound. That big frame has so much velocity behind his pitches. Fastball just misses the bottom of the zone for 1-2. Close call. The umpire has oscillated between being generous and being a little stingy with some of these calls behind the dish. 1-2 slider misses off the plate, but he gets him swinging. Rocha is put out after the strikeout, a 2-3 put out. Ends the inning. Second strikeout for Wilcox in the 7th. And the final opportunity for Grossmont coming, the bottom of the 7th. They need to score at least 5 runs to tie and 6 to win this game and walk it off. We will find out whether they can do that in just a moment. You're listening to the Prep Insider CIF San Diego section Boys Baseball Open Division Championships, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union. Nine, 1, and 2 batters due up for Grossmont. Their final opportunity here to tie or take the lead, trailing 8-3 by 5 runs. The score indicative of the standings and the seedings. Eastlake, the 8th seed, Grossmont, the 3 seed. And Reggie Williams is about to step in a big spot. His 3rd plate appearance of the night, was hit by a pitch and actually started a 2-run rally after being hit by the pitch. We'll see if he can generate some of that good fortune in the bottom of the 7th. Final gasp, an opportunity for Grossmont. Hanging in the balance. Eastlake and the Titans looking to win back-to-back Open Division titles for the first time in program history. Ray Jabolski is still on the mound, entering his 7th game. He has been a wizard on the mound tonight. 9 strikeouts. And his first pitch misses inside for ball 1. But his command and his placement and accuracy has been on point. 1-0 shows bunt, pulls it back, taken for a strike. It's 1-1. Fans still filling up this entire stadium and the bleachers behind us. 3rd pitch misses low for 2-1. Reggie Williams, the right-hander, standing. Eagerly awaits the 2-1 offering. Big swing, a little bit of a late swing, and it's 2-2. Jabolski tonight, using his full array of pitches, has been lights out. 2-2 zips in there, and it's fouled away. Nobody gone in this bottom 7th inning. On deck, Evan Vasilu and Noah Barnes waiting in the dugout. Can Reggie Williams ignite some type of rally in the bottom of the 7th? Jabolski out of the stretch. The 2-2 breaking ball is ripped down the 3rd base line, and it's just foul. That's a close call. Looked like it nearly clipped over the 3rd base bag, but they'll say it just did not. That would have been about as perfect of a shot that you can do. Would have given him ample opportunity to at least round 2nd, perhaps make a play at 3rd. Jabolski takes the sign, denies 1. Now comes back, 2-2 offering. This is a high flyer into center field. Sanchez takes a couple steps, and he'll make the catch. 1 gone. Back to the top of the order with Evan Vasilu and Noah Barnes in the on-deck circle. If it gets that far, Isaiah Gomez waiting in the dugout. And another meeting between they will say between Coach Gallegos, and he's taking the ball out of Jabolski, who finishes the game 6 1/3 inning, only giving up 3 hits, 3 runs, all earned. Just 2 walks, but 9 strikeouts for Ray Jabolski. A fantastic effort from him. New pitcher on the mound. We'll get that to you in just a second. Don't go anywhere. An opportunity for the Foothillers trying to mount a comeback in this bottom of the 7th. Isaiah Martinez is the new pitcher on the mound for the Eastlake Titans.
Number 20, Isaiah Martinez.
Martinez, just a sophomore, has appeared in 18 previous games, a 2.05 ERA, a 2-1 record in 27 innings pitched. Has a stellar .189 opponent base batting average. He's been lights out this season, making his 19th appearance. Again, just a sophomore. Jabolski's night is done. 6 1/3 inning. 3 hits, 3 runs, all earned, 2 walks, and 9 strikeouts. And with 1 gone, he faces Evan Vasilou for his 4th appearance, and he rips one into right field. That'll drop for a base hit. So a 1-out single for Evan Vasilou drops down. And now Noah Barnes will come in.
Left fielder Noah Barnes.
His 4th appearance. He is 0 for 2 with a sacrifice fly out to center his last time up, was struck out looking his first time up. And a big spot for Isaiah Martinez, trying to close this thing out and win Eastlake back-to-back CIF San Diego section open division titles. The southpaw, filthy breaking ball on the curve that drops in for a strike. Barnes could do nothing but watch it as he's down 0-1. So Vasilou over at first with a big lead off of the first bag. Another curveball misses outside, and it evens up the count at 1-1. Grossmont with Vasilou's base hit. It was just the 5th hit of the night. Another big lead off the first bag for Vasilou. Tough to run on a southpaw who can see. 1-1. Fastball in the dirt, gets past the glove of Leonhardt. And Vasilou on the wild pitch will advance to second. And it was also a ball, so it's 2-1 now to Noah Barnes. Martinez peers and gets the sign from Leonhardt and deals. This is a high fly ball into left field. Lazima will get underneath it to make the catch. And will hold up Vasilou at second. So this could be the final out of the game. Isaiah Gomez will step in. 0 for 2.
Now batting for the Foothillers, the catcher.
Drew a walk his second time up. And Eastlake Titans are 1 out away from winning back-to-back open division titles in the CIF San Diego section. Isaiah Martinez on the mound. Leonhardt behind the dish. Lane at third, Meyer at short, Moore at second. Valarelli at first, Lazima in left, Sanchez in center, and Liebed in right field. And Isaiah Gomez, who's been one of the leaders for this team all season, just announced an all-star. .474 on base percentage. Trying to keep this season alive. First pitch. Takes it low and inside for ball 1. 114 at-bats, 52 runs, 54 hits, 49 RBIs. 14 home runs. They could use one right about now. 1-0 the count. Martinez deals another curveball. Did he go around the swing? They'll say he did not. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. Gomez was struck out his first time up. Evan Vasilou, who started the game pitching over at second base, designated hitter. And the 2-0 fastball clips the inside corner for 2-1. Titans had to beat San Marcos in the first round. They beat Sage Creek in the second round, lost to San Marcos. for the first loss of the postseason, then beat San Marcos 6-1 in the semifinals to reach this position. 2-1, fastball, paints the inside corner. It's 2-2, and they can feel it here on the Eastlake Titans faithful. To the right of me, to the left are the Grossmont fans, and it's 2-2, one strike out away. One strike away for Isaiah Martinez and Eastlake and the Titans. Pierce to second, deals the 2-2. This one's ripped past the glove of Martinez. There is Meyer. The throw to first is in time, and this game is over. Eastmont Titans are back-to-back CIF San Diego Section Open Division champions. They dominated from start to finish, and they win 8-3 to claim their second consecutive CIF San Diego Section Open Division championship over Grossmont and the Foothillers. And the Titans, all jubilation on the field as they celebrate a title that has just embodied everything that this season has meant to this program, up and down, but when they needed to connect in the biggest moments of the year, they did. And a great season for Grossmont and the Foothillers. They beat this team 3 times in all three previous meetings. They were fantastic, 29-5, first place finish in the Grossmont Hills League. They should be commended and applauded. They have had a tremendous season, but the show belongs to Eastlake and the Titans coming in and knocking off the 3-seed, the 8-seeded Eastlake Titans come to Poway and come away with a CIF San Diego Section Open Division Championship. For everyone who made this broadcast possible, my broadcasting partner for part of this game, Christian Pedersen, I am Jonah Malkin signing off here at Poway. Your final score, 8-seeded Eastlake Titans over 3-seeded Grossmont Foothillers, 8-3, and the Titans are your 2020-2021 CIF San Diego Section Open Division Boys Baseball champions.